Jersey Saint Helier Normandy is a geographical and cultural region, roughly coextensive with the historical Duchy of Normandy. Normandy comprises mainland Normandy, its population of 3,322,757. The inhabitants of Normandy are known as Normans, and the region is the historic homeland of the Norman language. Large settlements include Rouen, Le Havre and Cherbourg. The cultural region of Normandy is roughly similar to the historical Duchy of Normandy, which includes small areas now part of the departments of Mayenne and Sarthe. The Channel Islands are also historically part of Normandy. They cover 194 square kilometers and comprise two bailiwicks, Guernsey and Jersey, which are British Crown dependencies over which Queen Elizabeth II reigns as Duke of Normandy. Normandy's name comes from the settlement of the territory by Vikings starting in the 9th century, and confirmed by treaty in the 10th century between King Charles III of France and the Viking Jarl Rollo. For 400 years following the Norman conquest of England in 1066, Normandy and England were linked by having the same person reign as both Duke of Normandy and King of England. Archaeological finds, such as cave paintings, prove that humans were present in the region in prehistoric times. Celts invaded Normandy in successive waves from the 4th to the 3rd century BC. When Julius Caesar invaded Gaul, there were 9 different Celtic tribes living in Normandy. The Romanization of Normandy was achieved by the usual methods: Roman roads and a policy of urbanization. Classicists mention many Gallo-Roman villas in Normandy. In the late 3rd century AD, barbarian raids devastated Normandy. Coastal settlements were raided by Saxon pirates. Christianity also began to enter the area during this period. In 406, Germanic tribes began invading from the east, while the Saxons subjugated the Norman coast as early as 487. The area between the river Somme and the river Loire came under the control of the Frankish lord Clovis. Vikings started to raid the Seine Valley during the middle of the 9th century. As early as 841, a Viking fleet appeared at the mouth of the Seine, the principal route by which they entered the kingdom. After attacking and destroying monasteries, including one at Jumièges, they took advantage of the power vacuum created by the disintegration of Charlemagne's empire to take northern France. The fiefdom of Normandy was created for the Viking leader Ralph Ragnvaldsen or Rollo. Rollo had besieged Paris but in 911 entered vassalage to the king of the West Franks, Charles the Simple, through the Treaty of Saint-Clair-sur-Epte. In exchange for his homage and fealty, Rollo legally gained the territory which he and his Viking allies had previously conquered. The name, Normandy, reflects Rollo's Viking origins. The descendants of Rollo and his followers adopted the local Gallo-Romance language and intermarried with the area's native Gallo-Roman inhabitants. They became the Normans, a Norman French-speaking mixture of Norsemen and indigenous Franks, Celts and Romans. Rollo's descendant William became King of England in 1066 after defeating Harold Godwinson, the last of the Anglo-Saxon kings, at the Battle of Hastings, while retaining the fiefdom of Normandy for himself and his descendants. Besides the conquest of England and the subsequent invasions of Wales and Ireland, the Normans expanded into other areas. Norman families, such as that of Tancred of Hauteville, Rainulf Drengert and Guymond the Moulins played important parts in the conquest of southern Italy and the Crusades. The Drengert lineage, the Hauteville sons William Iron Arm, Drogo, and Humphrey, Robert Guiscard and Roger the Great Count progressively claimed territories in southern Italy until founding the Kingdom of Sicily in 1130. They also carved out a place for themselves and their descendants in the Crusader states of Asia Minor and the Holy Land. The 14th century explorer Jean de Bethencourt established a kingdom in the Canary Islands in 1404. He received the title King of the Canary Islands from Pope Innocent VII but recognized Henry III of Castile as his overlord, who had provided him with military and financial aid during the conquest in 1204. During the reign of John of England, mainland Normandy was taken from England by France under King Philip II. Insula Normandy remained, however, under English control. In 1259, Henry III of England recognized the legality of French possession of mainland Normandy under the Treaty of Paris. His successors, however, often fought to regain control of their ancient fiefdom. The Charte aux Normands granted by Louis X of France in 1315, like the analogous Magna Carta granted in England in the aftermath of 1204, guaranteed the liberties and privileges of the province of Normandy. French Normandy was occupied by English forces during the 100 Years' War in 1345 to 1360 and again in 1415 to 1450. Normandy lost 3/4 of its population during the war. After